Okay, so it looks like we are recording. It's Thursday, 8 a.m., July 16th. I've got the CEO of CryptoQuant, Qi Youngju. I think he wants to be named as Qi, correct?
Yeah, my name is Key
Ah,
for KI.
awesome, awesome. Well, glad to have you here, Qi. How are you doing, man?
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're very welcome. So let's just dive right into it, Keith. First, can you explain exactly what CryptoQuant is, how you came up about it, and exactly what it is, the kind of information that you're hosting on your website, and how traders or investors like myself can utilize this information.
Okay, so CryptoQuant is a blockchain data provider for crypto hedge funds and professional traders. We're developing blockchain metrics that this industry has never explored before and finding insights that are highly relevant to professional traders, and we bring it to them. So what makes us different from others is that we collecting address labels, or more focusing on collecting address labels, and our data covers over 31 major exchanges around the world and 22 mining pools, which cover 98% of who mined Bitcoins in recent 2 years. So um, by
Wow,
labeling,
that's fantastic. So you
yeah,
said you cover who mined Bitcoin over the last 2 years. Is that what you said?
yep.
Wow, that's fantastic. Okay, okay.
Okay, so
Key, did you want to share your screen, or do you want me to leave mine up?
um, uh, can I use my screen?
Yeah, 1 second. Let me give you co-host, and all right, there you have it.
Okay, so just a sec. Can you see the screen?
Yes. Let me ask our members. Hey, can you guys see Key's screen? Okay. All right, everyone can see it. Okay, go for it.
Okay, so historically, blockchain metrics has been used for looking at miner stats or just to build fundamental valuation models. So basically, coin metrics, they started providing blockchain metrics such as the number of transactions, the number of wallets, and others, which is pretty raw data. And then token analysts, they kind of invented the entity metrics. So by labeling exchanges and miners, we can see money flow between those entities. So what we're focusing on is more like entity matrix. So we have a plan to add more entity like scam funds or unknown whales, known whales, and other um, merchant services, interesting stuff. So by utilizing those entity matrix, we're inventing, interesting indicators like miners position index, um, average exchange deposits, and others. So our focus is more like to build, to make professional, help professional traders to build risk indicators and trading signals other than valuation models.
Perfect.
So for example, um, we can see whale dumping by looking at exchange inflows. So we kind of predicted the March great sell-off by looking at all exchanges inflows. So inflows like increased 13x per just 3 days. So our clients and us earn quite good money from this. So let me give an example here. So when it comes to looking at inflows, there are leading whales and victim whales. So this like 2,000 Bitcoin surge is leading whales, and subsequent flows are victim whales. So this is more clear when you see it exchanges separately. Spot exchanges is for liquidation to cash, and derivative exchanges for leverage trading. So whenever significant inflows going into spot exchanges, that's going to be a pretty much clear sell signal, I would say. But the problem here is that um, these days, Binance and OKX, Huobi, and other global exchanges, they're start to, support futures and options trading. So exchange inflows is more like um, not sell signal, it's more like volatility signals. So
Yeah, just to add on to that, it's interesting that you say that there's, first of all, the victim whales, and then what was the other term that you used?
victim whales and leading whales.
Leading whales. Um, what I thought was interesting was that nowadays, as you mentioned, exchanges are now getting into spot as well as leverage, right? Because I mean, they're trying to diversify their investments and trying to, I guess, lure in more customers, because customers nowadays are far more interested in leverage trading. Yesterday, we did have Kraken inflows of, I think, 45 or 4,700 Bitcoin. I guess, in a live setting, what did you think about that when you saw something like that? Do you think that is something like a victim whale, or do you think that is the leading whale? Because we haven't really seen a significant drop yet. So I would figure it's the leading whale, correct?
Yeah, those are leading whales, I would say. Let me ask another screen here. It's our pro chart. Can you see
Yeah.
this?
Yes, I can.
So, yeah, so there wasn't any, significant inflows right here. And then these significant inflows are happen just this moment. And then when this inflows happen, the 2,100 inflows happen, there was a big week at Kraken. And then for this inflows, I think I'm not sure this is like directly correlated with the price, but price is like significantly dropped right after this 4,000 inflows. So what
Hmm.
is it? What is it?
Yeah, because since
Anyway, yeah,
yesterday, since yesterday,
like
we've seen price kind of drop, just about $100 or $200 after that money was moved over. So I don't know if you can make the argument that we've seen the impact yet. That's why I was curious to ask your question is, do you think that this will be the leading whale, or do you think that this guy's a victim at the bottom around 9,000, 9,100?
I think this is my take. Uh, our own on-chain indicators are um, saying it's gonna be bullish. I will let you know the details later. And because of due to those, Twitter hacking FUD and inflows like those exchanges, there is gonna be a short-term bearish. I think we do have a pullback. So I would say these guys, I don't know, maybe victim whales or manipulators. They just wanna drop the price and then accumulating more.
Okay,
Not
got it,
sure
got
at
it.
this point. Yeah. So let me
Okay.
continue. So average exchange withdrawals. This is the average amount of bitcoins going off the exchanges. So whenever people decided to, I mean whales decided to not sell, not to sell bitcoins to exchanges, they send bitcoins to custody wallets or their personal wallets. There's no way, no reason for just leave bitcoins into exchanges. So whenever this is like once a year opportunity, when this value hits the yearly high, the the price is likely to be the bottom. It's like 6 years ahead, like every year there's a same pattern like this. So um, I specifically say, hey, there's gonna be a bullish market within 4 months after the yearly high, the value hits yearly high, because we found that there's a ratio there. It's pretty technical, but we, let me show you the charts.
Sure. And just to clarify, Key, what you're saying is when you see a significant amount of Bitcoin moved off exchanges into custody wallets, what you and your team have found is that 4 months later, typically around that time, you've seen a new bull market start. And you're saying that in 2020, you're seeing similar signs that there's a lot of Bitcoin being moved off exchanges, and that has led you to believe that there might be a potential another leg of a bull market starting, correct?
Correct. And the top of the bull market would be victim retail, dumb individual investors are active like this. So people sending Bitcoins, the average amount of Bitcoins is like 1.5, like below 1 right here, right? And after it hits yearly high, we found that there's a 3.5 ratio compared to the bull market starts right here. So, for example, 13 divided by 3.5 is 3 point, wait a sec.
Yeah, I could do that.
3.7, and it's like almost 3.7 right here. And right here, it's 7, right? 7 divided by 3.5 is 2. And then when this value hits 2, the price has got surge, right?
Yeah.
And 10 divided by 3.5 is 2.8. And then we still have active whales though, right here. It's like 5, it's too high. Whales are too active. So we need victim investors. So whales are more likely to pump the price and then gathering those victim investors. So when victim investors are active, the value should be like supposed to be around 2 or just one like this. But we still have 5 or 4, so that's the problem here. So that's why I'm saying whales are still willing to pump the market.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, where's that? Not this one. And other indicators. So this is our in-house developed indicator, miner position index. So miners, they send periodically and their Bitcoins to exchanges or their personal wallets. So in order to see their position change, we have to calculate all miner outflows divided by its 1-year moving average. So when this value goes above 0 and above 2, it's pretty sell signal, and below 0, it indicates they're more inclined to hold Bitcoins. And since 17 bull runs, there was the MPI value keep going below 0, and it's diminishing since the beginning of this year. So halving issue is like finished. So the MPI value is going down, and then it hits like yearly bottom, I think, as I know. So you don't have to worry about miners, capitulation or something.
Interesting.
Yeah. And okay. So when you see exchange reserve, you can calculate potential buy power pressure and sell pressure. So for Bitcoin all exchange reserve, that indicates Bitcoin sell pressure, and for stablecoin reserve, that indicates buy pressure. It's pretty clear, right? So sell pressure hits all-time high following March 12 sell-off, and we're trying to find out more clear signals by using moving averages and oscillators for this data. And we only have open interest data for market data, right? So
Yeah.
we can estimate how many people are leveraged on that exchange by calculating like this, like open interest divided by total BTC balance of that exchange. So this is estimated leverage ratio. When this value goes up, people are like more doing high leverage, and when it goes down, it's more uncertain and conservative investment. So as I know, this value is pretty much high at this point. So there's going to be a huge, volatility
Liquidation.
will happen. Yeah, in the near
So,
future.
sorry to interject, Key. So if we were to make the argument that, okay, you said that right now we're probably in the area of aggressive investment, that high leverage area, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Now, price we know is already at 9,100, and it's been slowly bleeding for the last 45 days. Now, could we, in this case, make the assessment that more than likely price has been bleeding? People are probably still more bullish, so meaning they probably have more net long positions, because the way I see sentiment analysis, it seems like almost everyone thinks that Bitcoin is going to go up. So for me, the way I look at it is I would like to counter trade them and think that, okay, well, price will probably go down because price has been showing, aggressive weakness for the last 45 days, and no one thinks that price can go down. So I would figure that the people who are highly leveraged right now are probably more net long. Would you agree with that assessment?
Um, yeah, partially. So, um, this indicator is pretty much experimental, so it doesn't tell you the direction of the price, I think. So,
Right.
yeah, more.
And it obviously cannot tell us, if people are high leveraged in longs or shorts, correct? Because I mean, obviously, if that was the case, if we knew everyone is like net long, then we just go to the short side. That's not the case. I take it, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
So yeah, so this is just volatility signal. Um, so for example, Bybit, their open interest is uh, pretty much all-time high. It hits all-time high, as I know. Um, I mean yearly high maybe, and there. So people are asking that is Bybit collecting more users, or why the existing Bybit users are more do leverage trading. So we can find the answer from here, estimate leverage ratio. So their estimate leverage ratio goes similarly with the open interest. So we can guess like there's the existing users do leverage trading more, not they're not collecting more users from other exchanges,
Okay.
because otherwise their estimated leverage ratio should be like not that fluctuated.
So all we can, at least right now, what we can assume is more and more people are in the high leveraged area, and we should be seeing volatility. Like volatility is imminent. It should be coming soon. Is that something that we
Yep,
can infer?
yep, that's what I'm saying, and it's more clear that rather than just open interest. because open interest um, is affected by the number of users and exchange growth.
Okay, understood. Got it. Thank you.
So yeah, we're planning to launch TradingView integration and all our services on in August. So let us know if there's like any indicators or data matrix you want to look at and any features you want to utilize on TradingView. Like I've said before, just reserve inflows, you know, threshold of those raw data doesn't tell you clear signal. So we need to look at oscillators, moving averages, and other, other stuff. So on TradingView. So
Yeah,
yeah, so you just sign up on our website, and then we'll let you know in August.
perfect, perfect. Awesome. I did want to share my referral code because I know you said that sooner or later you guys are going to go live. So in August. So uh, for everyone who's watching right now in the Zoom chat, I just posted my referral link. I'll also post it in the Advantage chat as well. Make sure you guys sign up because I utilize the data from CryptoQuant quite a bit. I also like talking to Key because I think he's very knowledgeable. But yeah, I definitely appreciate the information that you provided for us. I think is really helpful. I really think that you guys are doing some phenomenal work on CryptoQuant.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So Key, let's take some questions if you don't mind from our members. And I just wanted to see if let me try to see if you answered all my questions that I had. So you went over all exchange inflows, the mean moving average, right? The seven-day moving average.
Mm-hmm.
Did we go over the Bitcoin Pure multiple? I think you have that on your.
Oh yeah. We have a problem with calculating Pure multiple. As I
Okay,
know.
okay, that's fine.
Um,
Can we check out then the Bitcoin delta cap?
okay.
Yeah. And do you mind explaining to us, first of all, what exactly the delta cap is and how one can utilize it?
So delta cap is like invented by David Puel from Adaptive Capital. So basically, have you guys heard of realized cap?
Yeah, realized market cap. Yeah.
Yeah. Realized cap is for you know realized price discounts for lost or unmoved bitcoins. Um, so delta cap is like hybrid indicator. So half fundamental and half technical. So it's calculated by subtracting average capitalization from realized capitalization. So delta cap provides excellent framework for catching global bottoms. So like when you calibrate the delta cap like this,
Mm.
so it's supposed to be calibrated like this, but we need more developers. So
I see. I
anyways,
see.
it was supposed to be like this. So um, when you can what whatever support level is that comes to mind to your brain, you can calibrate like this, and then you can set the buy signal when
Right.
is
Right.
the bottom price. Yeah.
So if we're using delta cap right now, one could make the argument that the buy signal for this should be way near that March low, like on the far right, if you see.
Um, Sorry.
So on the far right, you see where this orange line, the delta cap, goes across the price. Are you
Mm-hmm.
saying that you can utilize this line as effectively, a potential bottom or a potential support, and go farther right, all the way to the March, and yeah, all the
Yeah,
way
yeah,
right.
that infers potential support level. So I'll let you know, the calibration. I'll send you over exact charts later.
So I guess my question is, Key, when you have, say, something like Delta Cap, which already shows that, okay, well, Bitcoin has already exceeded, significantly higher than this Delta Cap. More often than not, when we've had such a big extension to the upside, like we did in 2017, as you can see, in 2019, as you can see, and now we're in 2020, could we not infer that, well, more than likely price should be coming down towards that support level, where we are today, right, in July 2020, right? So shouldn't we be assuming that, okay, well, maybe we should have more downside movement, maybe test that Delta Cap as support?
That might happen. Um, but Delta Cap is like more controversial because as realized cap, um, you know, calculating realized cap have a problem with mixers and other, exchange. A lot of exchanges and mixers, they change their system. So there's so many, you know, one-time used wallets and
Yeah.
transactions. So I think Delta Cap, I need to see exact level of this calibration, but I would say these days, I'm not sure this indicator is like perfectly find the bottoms.
Okay. Fair point. I just wanted to know because, well, the one thing I try to explain to my members, and whenever I make these YouTube videos, is there is not a single indicator on the planet that can tell you 100% that price will
Right, right.
definitely go up, definitely go down. What we can do as people who look at this quantitative data, as someone like myself who looks at the charts, looks at the volume, looks at the money flows, etc. The best we can do is we can look at all the evidence that we have, and then we can make an informed decision. And even after making that informed decision, the market could prove you completely wrong too. And that's the risk that you have to take. But at the end of the day, you have to be aware that you could very well be wrong, no matter how much data is in front of you. So just wanted to clear that up.
Okay.
Let me see,
Yeah.
Key. There's some questions. One of our members is asking, will there be an official tutorial video from your company?
We don't have any plans for now, but I'll take one.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a consensus video. You can search from CoinDesk, consensus key, CryptoQuant. You can
Okay.
see the video from from CoinDesk.
Okay, perfect. Hey, if not, someday I'll be happy to make some videos for you.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. So let me see if there's any other questions. Make sure you guys post in the chat if you have any other questions. Let me see here. Keith, do you have any other, like, for example, we went through this general breakdown of CryptoQuant. What are some simple tips and techniques that you could give to our viewers where they can look at, one or two indicators just to give them an idea that, hey, wait a second, you might want to start being careful because more Bitcoin is moving onto exchanges, like exchange inflows, for example. I personally think that's a great chart that we can look at to warn our members, traders, investors, etc., that if there's more than 1,000, I think you said, if there's more than 1,000 Bitcoin being moved in batches to exchanges, it might be time to be careful. So little tips like that, if you have any.
So for day traders, you have to check out MPI value, so that make sure miners are not selling. So the MPI value is going down like this. So miners, it's safe. And for specific miners, you can see their outflows like this. So, oh, there was significant outflow from small miners, and this could, increase the downside risk. You have to see by block like this. So, like I said before, miners, they're periodically send Bitcoins, and the amount of Bitcoins are like pretty much same. And
Mhm.
once they're changed their position, um, the Bitcoin is like, the amount of Bitcoin is like surge. So there wasn't any significant surge for now, as I know. There was a huge, surge from pooling a few weeks ago. So for how BTC, yeah, these guys are dangerous as well. And for exchange inflows and outflows, you have to see a reserve trend. So when reserves going down, the downside risks also going down. And this value means we have and reserves are remain right here, right? So
Right.
we have a downside risks for now. So there's gonna be a pullback, I guess. And also for inflows, for all exchanges inflows, over 2,000 BTC is significant. So that's our take. So you can set your threshold, and for when this value goes above 2,000, you have to take care of your trading if you are a scalper or live traders, more like frequent traders.
Hmm.
Um, and for specific exchanges, one by one, over 1,000 BTC is significant. And the reason why we report Kraken inflows is that 4,000 and 2,000 inflows is not the usual value. It's very unusual. So when this inflow happens, there was a huge big wick happened, and I think this 4,000 inflows could affect the price drop, um, to leading to price drop like this.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, not directly correlated, but that's my hypothesis. So
Got it.
um, we'll for inflows, I think you will eventually need alert service. So I will definitely working on development more faster and then give you alert system.
Perfect. Perfect. Um, okay. Yeah. No, I think those are great. I mean, I totally agree. Watching exchange inflows, watching miner outflows, um, miner positioning index is also pretty important. I think I've been watching those definitely on CryptoQuant. Key, I think what's interesting is a lot of this data, I don't think I ever utilized this kind of information or data in my trading. So I come from the traditional finance background where for us, when I was trading equities or Forex, the main things that we paid attention to was how a company is doing, right? You can see the bottom line revenue. You can see, how exactly they're performing versus the industry standard. You can look at how the CEO is running the company. And the fact that there's so much data on Bitcoin just gives us so many fantastic clues for traders and investors. I think this industry is definitely on the cusp of becoming, one of the most quant-driven industries ever to be made. And I think that's truly fascinating because if you're a trader and investor, you are hoping that there are clues, like data clues, that give you insight of how to buy or sell, right?
Mm.
But when it comes to the traditional finance world, there are a number of things that can happen. You know, as we very well experience with COVID, that's very impossible to predict exactly how COVID, if it's going to be impactful at all, or if it's going to bring down entire economies, which it basically did. You know,
Yep.
so yeah, I really think this data is impactful, and I'm gonna let my members know once again. Definitely sign up for CryptoQuant. My referral link is right there in the chat. It's also in our Advantage community.
Awesome.
So Key, let me just see if we have any last questions, and then if not, we can wrap this up. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Any questions, guys and girls? Anything? Let's see if they have any questions. Okay, so one of the questions is, is this only going to be for BTC, the data that you have?
We have plans to support Ethereum flows and stable coins and other ERC20 coins for now, for this year. Not sure we're supporting other, blockchains like Tron and either Hashgraph and other ones. Will just let us know which coins you want to look at through this feedback button.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll definitely look into it.
Okay, cool. T-Bone asks, just curious, especially when BTC loses some dominance, would love to see how that affects things like Ethereum. Do you have any insight on that, by the way? Like, do you guys track, how dominance and all these things impact other coins, or is that just, data that, is already available and we can do our own analysis of it? You guys don't do that.
For now, we don't do that because like I said before, we are more focusing on collecting address labels and calculating money flows. So yeah, I know definitely, Bitcoin dominance is very important. And the reason why I expect pullback is that altcoin parties it's supposed to keep going. So that's why I expect pullback right now. So we will definitely include those other data like market data and futures options data as well. So yeah, that's
Perfect.
pretty much in our plan. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Well, I think that's pretty much it. One of our members says, "Kamsamnida." I don't know what that means. Hopefully, he's not swearing.
That's thank you in Korean.
Awesome. All right. Well, I will also say kamsamnida. Thank you so much, Key, for joining us. Hopefully, we have you on again in the future. Super excited for your CryptoQuant to keep growing, and you guys are doing fantastic work. So keep it up.
Thank you very much. Really,
All
thanks for
right.
having me.
Yeah, for sure. We'll talk soon.
Yeah, keep in touch. Thank you.
All right. Cheers.